remote meeting on the website and provided for a call-in number. We have Tom Kurtz manning the call-in station. He's on. Right now, I'm not aware of any public attending, but if they do, he'll alert us.
All right. Tom, are there any calls at this point?
The call center is quiet at this time.
All right, very good.
Mike Seeker with us? Here.
Yes.
Scott Fruit?
Roll call.
Gabrielle Saboni? Jeanette?
Here.
Larison? Paul
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Stacy Crowley? Brandon Goldberg?
Here.
Was that a yes?
Yes, here.
Okay. Richard Janneron? Chris Fisher? Ernie Hodzovic?
Yep.
Chris Fisher is here, Christina Fisher, and also Carol Schaffner.
Okay, thanks. Glenn Cullen?
Here.
Art Tedeschi? Joe Zanga? Owen McDonald?
Here.
Mayor Heck? William Kurtz, Glenn Kurtz, Ed Castino?
Here.
Joe Manzo?
Here.
Donna Setzer?
Here.
Here?
Here.
Jim Gotay?
Here.
Sean Kelly? Dominic Sinelli? Sean is here?
I'm here.
Dominic Sinelli?
Here.
Okay, Robert Rassiopi?
Here.
Patty Fade?
Here.
Amy Peroni? Mike McCormick? All counted.
Amy's here. She's muted, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
She is.
All right.
Do that on her end or my end?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you.
All right. So the voting members, just so we get it clear today, are going to be me, Paul, Dawn, Scott. Who else? Brandon?
Jeanette or Zanga
Jeanette?
Okay.
and Mike Sika for Stacy Crowley.
All right. Okay, good. So we'll do that. We have the February 26, 2020 minutes that were sent out to everyone. Any comments on those before we vote? Oh. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes of February 26, 2020?
Motion.
Who was it, Brandon?
Brandon, yep.
And Paul Clark will second. I believe I was there, so Paul Clark will second.
Okay.
Yes, Paul, you were there.
That's what the minutes said, at least.
It's right in there, written plain as today. Dawn McDonald,
Abstain.
Paul Clark,
Approve, yes.
Scott Fruit,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Brandon Goldberg,
Yes.
and Bernie Hodzovic.
Yes. All right, moving on to the administrator's report. Bill?
Yes, as of this morning, in the admin account, there are $138,000 in the administrative account, 4,600,000 CDs at the Freehold Savings alone, with another 500,000 that's up for renewal. This afternoon, we got to call them with what interest rate and term to get. So cash in the bank. The claim synopsis from 1918. 1918, $1,692,269, opposed to a budget of claims of $6,670,000 for a loss ratio of 25%. In 1919, $2,262,955 against a budget of $5,005,000 for a loss ratio of 44%. And in 1920, $280,697 against a budget of $4,846,977. Boy, does it look good, fellas, huh, and ladies?
Just so we're clear, those were 2019, 2020, 2018. You had said 1918, Bill.
I'm sorry, 18, 19, and 20.
Yep, okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you
copies of the duplicates?
The what?
All that area that has a summary, just a summary page.
The summary pages.
Yeah.
All right, because what do you need, 19 or 20?
You go.
Okay, I have both cold, so if you want them, I'll make copies of the pages.
Yeah, just those
That
pages.
way it'll be there for Kim if she needs it, all right? That way you can kind of look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Bill, have you finished? Are you done?
That's it, except I'm sure looking forward to get the hell out of here.
Thank you very much and safe travels. Moving on to Donna for Qualcare.
Hi, hello everyone. Hope everyone's safe and well with your families as well. For the month of March, Qualcare received 245 bills. 235 of them were in network, 10 were out of network, which gives us 96% network penetration. The total charges were $230,364.16. It was repriced for payment to pay $91,992.63 for a savings of $138,371,371.53, which is 60% of savings from charges. We had 16 injuries called in. 12 of them were required treatment and 4 were reporting only. I do want to give you an update on COVID calls that were reported. There were 17 called in. It turned out 2 exposures were not work-related. 5 exposures tested negative. 1 exposed employee, we're still waiting test results. 4 of them symptomatic, tested negative, and 5 tested positive, with 1 waiting to return to work, waiting for a negative response. The telemed and the telehealth, which is office visits and physical therapy visits, have been going very well. The nurses have been not seeing any difference as far as being able to communicate with the providers on what's going on. The employees seem to like it as well. They feel safer doing this. Physical therapy, they can be tracked online. It's not like they just say, oh yeah, I finished therapy, I did the treatments. They're actually being tracked and videoed as well. So everything seems to be going very well with that. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them for you. Otherwise, that concludes my report. Oh, there you go.
On the telemed, I just got that thing that came over yesterday. Did that go to all commissioners or to one?
Yeah, it just went to you. We wanted to know if you wanted them sent out to all the providers, or your workers' comp member contact. I will do that.
That's upside down.
I will circulate to that.
Any questions for Donna?
And you can't compare.
Moving on, safety and loss control with Glenn.
Yes, Chair. In the packets that went out to everybody were the loss runs of all claims that have been reported on the system, as well as claims we have subsequently closed out. Recoveries to date on the workers' comp system are up to 3,992,000.
19 and 20. 20 doesn't have the numbers in.
On
I
GL,
guess it's because they're not determined.
8,261,409. With respects to the COVID claims that are coming in, my adjusters are working remotely, and as
What's been
calls
built
come in, they are doing necessary
Isn't there a page that gives you
We
billed
just
by
asked, there's a couple, there's background noise on a couple people, maybe until we vote or until you want to speak, maybe everybody can mute their mics. We're getting some background noise on some people. Thank you. Sorry, Glenn.
That's all right. Yes, with respects to the COVID-19 cases that are being reported, they are being investigated by my adjusters for a work-related exposure, as well as once a positive comes back, they do jump on and handle and work with Qualcare on the med treatment. So,
Have we had anybody pass yet from that? Any employees?
no,
Okay.
none reported to me. I don't know if Donna's gotten an update or not.
No, there has been not with Middlesex JIF, no.
All right, that's good news.
Yeah, it is.
We only had one in our complex here, which is pretty good, but it's a seniors home.
I do have Mr. Gote here. He has been pretty much on hold pending training, but I don't know if he wants to jump in and give an update or.
Sure, no problem. What we have done during the time of the shutdown is we completed all the documentation and the input and whatever for the right to knows. We did South River, South Plainfield, Milltown, and Jamesburg we completed entirely because they had a pH inspector and he was a little frisky about the shape of their documentation and their books. So as far as Jamesburg is concerned and right to know, we finished them entirely. They signed out, they're done for the year. There are several locations that still need to be visited and we can't do anything with them till we do till things open up. Now, to the best of our knowledge, July 15th is still a deadline. I would not, be surprised if that was postponed, but as of right now, that's still a deadline. And our intent is whenever things are allowed to, when things open up and we're allowed to go back and visit these people, to do that kind of heavy so that we can make sure that we comply with the initial date. And if they extend it, all the better. But that would be East Windsor, New Brunswick, the New Brunswick Parking Authority, South Brunswick, and Spotswood. But so we haven't, we had to stop those inspections as a result of the governor's shutdown of the state. As far as training is concerned, we are on a standstill, and since they have two things that would prevent anything from happening right now. Well, three. Obviously the virus, but the occupancy and the inability to have more than 10 people in one location. So we're looking at different options that may be available when this thing is over, or when the various sanctions are lifted, to make sure that the employees are safe and that our people are also safe. But right now, we're just looking at all the options and evaluating them. But till we have a little bit more guidance from the government, we're not going to be able to do anything. The one thing that we are pretty sure of is that when we go back, if we do go back, that the training will have to be conducted in the largest areas and try to keep the class sizes reasonable. Some of these things we could conceivably do online, but OSHA, strangely enough, put out a dictum about 2 months ago where they reemphasized the idea that they do not care for like videos and stuff to be used as training. They want people on site. They want people talking to people. So I don't know how that's going to happen or change, or if anything is going to change. But those are some of the constraints that we're looking at. Outside of that, that's all we have to report.
Hey, Jim, this is Paul Clark.
Yeah, Paul.
Would you do me a favor? The OSHA guideline that you mentioned from a couple of months ago, and I understand it could change, but if you could just shoot a copy of that to me, I'd appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Louis, you're on board also. Just forward Paul a copy of it. Louis?
Yes.
Okay. Could you just forward Paul a copy of it? Paul, so that you know, we send a copy of that to Lisa and to John Missia. So they already have that.
Okay, good. That's
Brian.
That's good. All right, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Jim, the inspections you mentioned 4 or 5 towns. Is there any issue with non-compliance on the towns, or it stopped because of what's going on?
It stopped because of what's going on. The only there was only really 2 people that had potential issues of non-compliance because of pH inspectors. Actually, it was 3. Stacy, who we went there and we helped. This was before the shutdown. Stacy over at the Parking Authority in New Brunswick. The Jamesburg and the inspector really gave him a really hard time. For whatever reason, there must not have been chemistry or something between him and Paul over at Jamesburg, but he really came down on him. So we went out of our way to get his documentation in order. And then the last one was South Boundbrook, and Lewis had to go there. And we walked around with them to discuss their confined space entry issues that they had a few. But the inspections, the other inspections are the routine annual right to know survey type inspections, which again, we did Jamesburg, Milltown, South Plainfield, and South River. And strangely enough, that one week we were going to do 2 more, and we had to cancel because of what developed.
All right. Louis, you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Anybody have questions for Jim or Louis? Seeing none, we will move on to the finance report for Joe.
Thank you, everybody. You should have got the treasurer's report for the month of April. Just in addition to that, understand that I also filed the first quarter pension report for those employees of the JIF that are in the pension system. We also paid electronically our 2020 pension obligation, which I believe Glenn put on the bill list, about $54,000 some odd dollars. That's based on 2018 salary earnings. All towns are required to pay that by the end of April, all public entities actually. So the report, as Bill said, you know, everything looks great because nobody's working. So there's not a whole lot going on. We are still able to fund the accounts that we used to fund for workers' comp and general liability electronically anyhow. That has not been an issue. The checks for this coming approval are going to be put in the mail today to Glenn. I'd already had a bunch of checks pre-signed by Bernie. As the chairman, I signed the rest of them, but now I'm out of pre-signed checks. So before the next meeting, unless we have the good fortune of meeting face-to-face, Bernie will have to sign some more checks for me. But other than that, you know, we're doing very well this year, as Bill said. That's my report.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe? All right, next is closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Dawn, is there a second?
Second.
Was it Scott?
Yeah.
Roll call.
Don McDonald,
Yes.
Paul Clark,
Yes.
Scott Frew,
Yes.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Brandon Goldberg,
Yes.
Ernie Hodzovic,
Yes.
and Jeanette Larson.
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve the reserves?
Motion. Brandon.
Brandon,
Second.
Clark, second.
Okay.
Don McDonald,
Yes.
Paul Clark,
Yes.
Scott Frew,
Yes.
Jeanette Larson,
Yes.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Brandon Goldberg,
Yes.
Ernie Hodzovic.
Yes. All right, anybody have any old business we need to discuss?
It's not old, but I'd just like to tell you, I heard from Larry Pollock last week. He was on the board years ago, and he moving back into the area. He said to say hello to all, if you remember.
Thank you. Anybody else have old business? All right, new business. Anybody have any new business?
Mr. Chair, we're open for business. Anybody, we have been fielding a lot of calls with respects to how to deal with this crisis, specifically dealing with concerns regarding workers' comp claims if they happen while at home, while these people are discharged with home work. There are some protocols and questions that we have given the adjusters to ask if presented with a claim, i.e., you know, doing your regular work routine or you're tending to child care and helping your kid. So we are handling those questions and the adjusters are dealing with it.
All right, thank you. Any other new business?
Mr. Chair, just a reminder that the local finance disclosures are still due April 30th. So if anyone hasn't done them, they can log on and do it from their computers. So as far as I know, there hasn't been any extension.
All right, thank you.
And make
Anything
sure you
else?
link
Any other?
your JIF account with your personal town account.
I actually have a question about that. So do I need to, so did that get added to my, I'm not sure how I file that. I mean, I know how to file a financial disclosure, but I'm not sure how it's handled with the JIF. What I'm supposed to do.
I'll go on this afternoon, Jeanette, and make sure you're in there under the JIF.
Okay, because I already filed mine for this year, so I know that I can amend it or whatever I have to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Glenn, this is Paul. I did file mine, through the MCUA already. And I believe it links up, but I'm not sure. So if you're checking, if you wouldn't mind checking my JIF one too.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes they miss it and it comes back to us and we confirm that they're a member of the JIF.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll make sure yours was filed. I get it. Yes,
I
no.
retired last year, so I did not file one at all this year. So do I file one just for the JIF?
Yeah, because you'd still be on our schedule. You see, you file under your PIN or the PIN that JIF gave you?
I usually file under my PIN, but I didn't get one from any of my towns this year because I don't work for any of them anymore.
All right, let me, I'll check when I go on this afternoon. Paul.
All right, thank you.
Any other new business? Anybody have questions? Anything? All right, we'll move on to audience comments. Before we get to people on the call, Tom, is there anyone who has called in or might have questions? We'll assume that is a no. Anybody on this call have any comments or questions?
That is correct. Nobody has called in. I'm sorry.
All right. Moving on then to the bill list. There's two bill lists. One is March 25th, and then there's an April one. We'll do them separately. The March 25th bill list, I believe it has been paid. It was approved by emails, and now this is just a formal approval of that list. Everyone should have that. Any questions before we vote on it? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the bill list of March 25th, 2020?
Motion.
Is that Dawn and
It was Jeanette
Jeanette? Okay.
and Scott.
And Scott, okay. Dawn McDonald,
Yes.
Paul Clark,
Yes.
Scott Fruit,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison,
Yes.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Brandon Goldberg,
Yes.
Bernie Hazovic.
Yes. And next we have the April 22nd bill list. The original one went out and then an amended one. The amended one has, I think, two additions: State of New Jersey pensions and risk placement services. So if you're looking at a bill that does not have those two, it would have those two added to it. Is there a motion to approve the April 22nd bill list?
I'll make the motion.
That's Dawn.
Second.
Scott,
Yep.
okay. Dawn McDonald,
Yes.
Paul Clark,
Yes.
Scott Fruit,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison,
Yes.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Brandon Goldberg,
Yes.
Bernie Hazovic.
Yes. All right. With that, if does anybody have anything else they need to address before we adjourn? All right. Seeing none, is there all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you all very much. This went well, and I assume we'll be doing this again next month. So everybody be safe.